Hi everyone, just entered a short on the DAX. This is the 1 minute chart on the DAX, and it's down, the market's down about 150 points so far this morning, so it's been in a downtrend from the open basically. Just after 10 o'clock in the morning, so about another hour's worth of trading for me. And so you can see that the market has been most recently trending down. So you can see that we've got a low there and high here, which is a lower high. So we've got lower lows, a lower high here, and I'm expecting the market to come down here somewhere. And so you can see that I've placed my stop just above this high here. Let's just get rid of these markings. So I've placed my stop just above this most recent high here. High, lower high, lower high. So I know that if the market goes above here, that I'm wrong with this particular trade. And so looking at things in more detail then, so my context for this trade is that we're in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, and the market is seriously down on the day. So when the market's seriously down on the day like this, and you can see that essentially we're in a trading range here at this point in time, lots of green and lots of red bars all mixed together. When the market's been trending down and it's essentially flat for a couple of hours, then what we've got here is we've got a potential bear flag forming. So the market's failed to go higher, it's failed at these highs here, and it's starting to go down again. And so I've placed my stop above this high here. If it goes above here, then the downtrend's effectively over, and I'm expecting prices to come and possibly break this low here. Might not do all in this particular move, but I'm expecting at some stage that this low will be broken. So stop above here, this is my risk, the difference between here and here, and I'm looking for roughly an equivalent amount for my target. However, this is my initial risk. This is the risk that I'm taking initially on this trade. However, I may not let the market get to this level. So whilst this is the worst case scenario for my risk, somewhere up here I may get candlesticks that tell me that the market's going up. Let's say I got a series of green candlesticks and we get to this level here, then I may exit my trade here. Also, if the market starts going in my favour, then I'll be bringing my stop down, possibly, around this level here. Depends on the candlesticks that form. So we'll wait and see what happens. But this is my initial risk on the trade. So we're at the 12,450 level, looking for about 15 points here in total. But we'll see how it goes. I like to be flexible on these type of trades, and it's possible that if the market goes back up here again, that I may take another trade short in a little while, depending on what happens. Obviously, hopefully, it'll reach target straight away, but we'll wait and see what happens. So I've measured my risk according to the fact that I may take another trade in here and therefore may extend my risk at some point in time during this trade. The reason why I've taken the trade here, so I entered here, the reason that I took the trade here was 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive red bear bars showing strength on the side of the bears. Prior to that, we'd had a big engulfing candlestick for the bulls here, big engulfing candlestick for the bulls here, and another big candlestick here. So the tide, I hope, has been turned by this run of 4 bear bars here. And so essentially it's a trading range. I've entered in the middle of the trading range, or just below the middle, not ideal really, which is why I would like to have an entry up here somewhere, but I hoped that the market would break straight down from here, and it hasn't. So we'll wait and see what happens, but I'm hoping that either we break straight down or that I get a nice little entry around about here somewhere. And so by looking at having two potential entries, what that does for me is, obviously, if I get a big green candlestick here, then I won't be entering short again. I'll probably just exit the trade and after confirmation that the bulls are taking control again. However, I can potentially mitigate my risk somewhat by, if we get a series of little green bars or one or two green bars up here, and the overall this particular range here hasn't been broken, then by entering short again up here, so that would be my second trade. So what that would mean is I could potentially, if the market came down, take a profit on my second trade, and gives me the option then with my first trade of coming out break even if the market gives me a signal to do that, or leaving it to run and taking profit on both trades. Anyway, the trade's looking pretty good at the moment. The market's just consolidating at the moment below the 20 exponential moving average. We've got the 8, the blue wavy line here, and the 20, which is the red wavy line here. You can see that we're getting rejection at these lows here. Got a spike there, and the biggest spike in this particular range here is this one. This is a bearish pin bar. It's a really good bar to have occurred during the trade. Gives me confluence for the trade that I took and confidence that we're likely to get more downward action. And very often on the DAX, you get these tight ranges, and the market, it has to go up in order to find sellers to go down again. And therefore, no need to panic. Got another spike here. No need to panic at this particular stage. The market ebbs and flows. It goes up and down before making its decisive move. But the overall context for the trade I'm happy with, and we'll wait and see what happens as things transpire during the remainder of this particular trade. So the market's continuing its ebbing and flowing. Just had a doji here. The market's trying to push up at this particular time. I'll be looking to see what happens as it approaches this high here, if it gets up there. Okay, the market's pushing up now, and it's pushing against me, but small green bar, nothing decisive about that at this particular time. It's rejecting to the 12,450 level at the moment. With these particular levels, you never expect them to break and the market really to just cascade down straight away. So wait and see with this particular bar, wait and see what happens here, and see whether it's worth entering another short position in a little while. This ended up as a range bar, spike on the top, spike on the bottom. Obviously got a green body going against me at this point in time, but still a way away from my protective stop, and so I'm happy to remain in the trade at this point in time. Very often you can see what's happening here. The market's just forming a bottom here. There's a level right where I've entered, and we've got spikes at the bottom. I think as a beginner, most people will be thinking about exiting the trade at this point in time. However, I'm aware of how the market ebbs and flows, how it works, and therefore at this point in time I'm actually thinking about entering another short position shortly. The market's forming another range, a very small range here, lows here, highs here, and it's likely to ebb and flow within this range. So entering short up here gives me an option to take profits, as I could have done with this one, as the market reaches the entry point for my first trade. So probably more of this type of trading range action to come over the next few minutes. Just approaching the 450 level again now. That was a good bar. That was a bear, big red bear bar. Shows the intention of the bears. The bulls push up, the bears resist. And we'll see what happens next. Unlikely to break through the low at this point in time, quite unlikely to happen. Break these lows, assuming we do. If we break these lows, then we've got a low here to contend with and a low here to contend with as well. So depending on how many positions I've got on at the time, may look to exit one of my trades down here or at this level here. Also, depends what happens, but I may consider taking partial profits on one of my trades at these levels as well. It's all about managing your trade. 90% of the time in the market, you can make a profit going long or going short, and it all comes down to how you manage your trades. So the risk that I've taken, as I said, the risk that I've taken on this particular trade has allowed me, or it does allow me, to take another trade and not exceed my overall risk per trade should I decide to do that at some point in time. 1, 2, 3 red bars on the trot. It's a good sign. Back below the exponential moving averages again. Got rejection below the exponential moving averages. These tight ranges that we get, these sort of tight ranges, they can go on for quite a long time, especially in the middle of the day. So I'm not going to know whether I'm right or wrong in this trade, potentially for quite a while. And I'll speed the video up if it starts prolonging. So the market's making a fresh low, tries to make a fresh low, and the bulls just resisting at this point in time. It's an interesting bar there. It's an inverted hammer, or an inverted hanging man, if you like. Might see the market push up again to these levels here just shortly. Bullish pin bar. Very weak bullish pin bar though. Nothing to be particularly concerned about at this point in time. Just means probably an ebb upwards. So yeah, the market's just pushing up again now. Again, nothing really to worry about at this point in time. That one's got it's an engulfing candlestick. It's got a green body, but it's got a little wick on the top of the candle, showing that the bears are still resisting. Nip and tuck within this little range. The longer the range goes on, the more I'm thinking I'd quite like an entry short up at these levels here somewhere, if I can get one. So I've just entered a short position up here. Just got some rejection of these highs here, potentially a lower high in this range. So what I'm going to be looking to do here is I'm going to be looking to see obviously what happens, but I may, if the market comes back down here, I may take profits from my second trade, and therefore it will give me options with regard to what to do with my first trade position. So wait and see what happens. I'd expect the market to come back down to these levels here again, and depends what happens with the candlesticks in the meantime. But if it comes down here, I'll be able to get a profit on my second trade, and it give me the option to exit break even or for a small profit on my first trade. Here we go. Here we go. That's a good bar. It's a good start. And considering taking profits on there, So now I've taken profits on that second trade, and it gives me options because I'm in profit now for this overall trade, and giving me options. I'm not thinking about exiting my first trade at this point in time. I'm already in the green or in the blue with these IG charts, and so we'll wait and see what happens a little bit. My mental stop now for this particular trade is above these highs here, and if the market does come up to this high here, I'll exit and probably take a very small loss on the overall trade, on the two trades that I've been in. So broken these lows here, and we're approaching this low here. There was a little gap down here, so this bar closed at this level and it opened at this level here. Small gap closed immediately, but that's a good bearish sign. Two things can happen with a gap. One is you end up with a bar like that, which is an excellent sign, and the other thing is that could happen is you get a small doji bar. If it was a small doji bar after the gap down, then I'd exit, take a small profit, but given the bar that occurred, happy to hang on. And again, my risks here at this point in time, just up here, I'd exit if the market came up here for a loss on the first trade, and therefore I'm at 1-to-1 risk for the first trade now. 1-to-1 risk. And at some point in time down here, I'm thinking about taking 50% profits on this first trade. This was a big engulfing candlestick, and I'd expect some rejection to occur, some kind of reaction to occur if the market got down here. So quite keen to take some profits from this first trade, which would mean that overall on the two trades it'd be impossible to lose. And that's great for the mind. If you can get to the position when you're in a trade where you have a risk-free trade, then it allows you to think a lot more clearly. Just getting rejection on these candlesticks here. Rejection, rejection. Nothing to worry about at this point in time though. Market's still going down. Just at about 1-to-1 risk now. 1-to-1 reward to risk. Risk being entry point to protective stop. Reward being where we are now. So I've just taken 50% profits down here at 1-to-1, and we'll see what we can get out of the rest of this trade. Just concentrating at the moment. I'm going to bring my stop down to break even in a second. Just get a new low, hopefully. Lows here, two lows here. Hopefully break these lows. When you're in a trade, you know, you could exit here, but the market's making it's on a downward run. You've got a close here, close here, close here, close here. It's being pushed down, and so no need to do anything at this point in time. Just wait and see what happens. The market comes back up here. I'm not had a break of these lows here yet. Market's searching for sellers at this point in time. And again, this has been a lower candlestick body, lower body, lower body, lower body, lower body, series of lower bodies, all good for my trade at the moment. And we've had a lower low here, so we've broken these lows here, and it's just rejecting back up. Hopefully find more sellers. So mentally, my stop is just under break even, which would mean just in profit. So I'm going to have two profitable trades here. Okay, looking good, and we're reaching these lows here. So just wait and see what happens. But this will be a good level to take profits and exit the trade. Don't want to exit yet, because if it gets down here, it could come all the way down to the 400 level. I don't expect it to do that. I do expect it to react at these prices here, but I don't want to exit too early. So we'll wait and see what happens. What I'm looking for here is, well, you know, do I get a pin bar? Do I get a convincing bullish pin bar down here? If I do, then I'm probably just going to exit, and that's a pin bar. So exited the trade. So 3 segments to the trade. I entered the trade short here and entered another short here. Took profits from the second trade around about here. Took 50% profit on the first trade here, and I've exited, so I'm now in a flat position here. So 3 segments to the trades, 2 trades, all positive. That's how I manage my trades. Hope you found it useful. My name's Anthony Beardsall. If you're interested in learning to trade, then join us at the Excellence Assured Trading Academy. We've got a day trading course and a forex trading course for you to help you to learn how to trade profitably. Do go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more of these videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.